because I didn't. There's gonna be no flashy editing or like really any visuals for this video. I just needed to say this. I felt the need to say this to you guys. About like I believe an hour or so ago, let me check the footage. Well, I don't have the footage. I'm going to talk about that later. But yep, approximately like I think it was last 2 or 3 hours ago, there was a very cool and interesting event that happened on there. The main creator of the game joined. It all started off when this person was, I was going over to the bar because I was following the AI. Somebody had told me to tell it to go over to the bar, and I followed it, and it climbed up onto the roof, and I didn't know what to do that, so I just kind of climbed up onto the roof with it. And then I heard this, like, ricocheting gunshot noise. Like, it wasn't a realistic gunfire. It sounded like a western. Like, it sounded like a western movie from the 50s. And so, I was just like, oh, okay, that's odd. At first I thought there was a video that I had on in the background. But I didn't, all my videos were paused. I wasn't playing anything at the time, so I was really confused. At first I was wondering if this was something on my, or only on my screen for some reason, or something that only I was hearing. And at first it seemed like it until they said that they heard it too. And yeah, so it was actually just a real sound. So I eventually figured out it was on spawn, and this person had this weird box. I think it was called the Battle Wagons or something. And it was making all those gunfire sounds. I was really confused because the only tools I had seen in the game was the stone sword, the little bling-beaded protest sign, the guitar, and the fish, I believe. I think those are the only tools that are in the base game. And then all of a sudden, eventually my friend, Combat AI, he was there, and all of a sudden he got this, like, DS thing, like this Game Boy, DS thing. It was, I think there's a name for it. It's like Red DS. I know it's a DS, but it has a different name because of copyright, obviously. But he got that, and I was like, how are you guys getting these tools? Where are you finding them? At first I thought they got it from the bar, from the like NPC at the bar, but no, it was just they just dropped those all of a sudden. I was completely confused for a good while until eventually Drops joined. And I mean the real one. I mean the creator and lead dev of the game joined. And that hit me like a truck. So people had always been talking about Drops joining, and this thing has been up for like a number of years. And so I never got the badge that you get when you meet the dev, when you're in the same server as the dev. And so I always felt like a new guy there. I felt like I hadn't really experienced the game truly. And this was huge. Like, I actually met the dev. That was insane. But so after that, I think the dev gave someone else details. I think they were one of the people that had to do with the tool at the beginning, the cowboy gunshot tool. And they built, because they were chat, I guess they were just, they couldn't chat period, I don't think. They just wrote hi using like blocks from the B tools. Drops also made a like frowny face as well. And I think that was because they couldn't chat either. I don't know whether they just hadn't verified or whether they were in a different age group. I couldn't tell. I didn't see any of the locked dots things that you see when somebody's in a different age group though, so I just assumed they hadn't verified and they hadn't got that period. So that's pretty sad actually. But eventually they were using like the B tools on other people, like they were adding like these really, really bright lights. They were walking over to the little smokestack area in the factory, and they were putting lights on people, and that was pretty cool. Eventually they started pulling out just random gears. Drops had the, had like a Roblox guitar that had the stupid, you know, shirts and pants thing. You know, that old video by Celeste, the shirts and pants thing. Yeah, that. So, that was something interesting. We also some, like, cool disco stuff, you know, just generic tools at the time, too. They also built a little statue of a dude in the game. I think the name was Han or something. They built a little statue of that guy. Oh yeah, eventually, it was like a little platform thing, and then they started putting subspace chip mines everywhere. Now, I hadn't fully noticed it at the time, but they had placed, like, what, like 100 subspace chip mines in the area of the bar. And I don't know how, but they leveled it. Like, I think I'd seen the explosion off in the distance, like a giant purple explosion, but the bar and, like, the entire, all of the trees behind the bar, like, in a line, it was like an absolute path of destruction. All of that completely destroyed. So, they had more or less just completely leveled that entire area over there. I hadn't noticed that until later, though, really. They gave us also swords, and because I suck at sword fighting, I died relatively quickly, but I don't know, I think I killed like one person or whatever, I don't care. But they had just done some other more like random, generic things, you know, something, oh, they had a car, yeah. Before they added the subspace chip mines down, I believe they just spawned in a little car, and they drove that around, and eventually they drove it off into the water, and they jumped off. That was pretty fun. They also spawned in the car again, and this time while we were driving, they just blew it up, like the car exploded and killed a bunch of people. It was actually, it was kind of funny actually. It was pretty funny when that happened. And also they give us these like little horns. I think there was like the exclamation mark, there's a question mark, there were dots, there was an X, and they all made like different sounds and you clicked on different buttons on them. So that was another cool thing. And after Egloff left, somebody was able to pick up the loose pieces, like they were an exploiter, and they were making these like, they were basically just grabbing up all the pieces and making like a tornado thing. We were running for our lives. We headed over to the cola area. We headed over to the underground cola area, not the bar. The bar was gone by then, but we headed to the like underground cola area. We headed over to the top of the building, and yeah, eventually the game cleaned up all those loose parts and new things, and that's not where I ended the video. I ended the video a few minutes after that. But about that video, it literally doesn't exist. Yeah, like the recording, for some reason, it was set on the wrong window. And I would have never known. You can't tell whether it's on the wrong window. I believe there's like no way to tell whether it's on the wrong window. It wasn't even recording the game the entire time. I spent an hour and 11 minutes of that. There was an hour and 11 minutes of footage from the whole thing, and it's all gone. I have no screenshots. I have nothing. I didn't even, because I thought it would be recorded on the video. I never feel the need to take screenshots because later I could go into the video and, you know, just copy a frame from it. And that would be good enough. But, I mean, I was wrong to think that because the video never even existed in the first place. And so I have nothing. And I know this is fully my fault for this too. I take full responsibility for this. This is just really devastating because I expected this to be, this is a really cool event that happened in a really, really boring game. There is probably one of the most boring games ever. I really had to stretch out the stupid AI005 thing into like a bunch of videos. That situation, it's something okay, but it's kind of boring actually. Like that would have been, this whole like dev event would have been way cooler than any of that. I think somebody else said that they had recorded a video of it, and if you have recorded a video of that incident, and you're willing to share it, then I would really love to see it, but I don't think anyone does because this wasn't like, there is not a super popular game. It got a lot more players during that time, but I doubt anyone recorded it, really. I think somebody else did, and they recorded it like a minute later, but I don't even know really who they are. I don't think I have any like, I don't really remember their name. I don't think anybody is going to see this because of the like no editing or whatever, and because there's no flashy visuals or good thumbnail or anything, but just, I needed to get this out because this is a very interesting and cool special thing that happened in the game that I really like, and I'm never going to be able to see it ever again. I'm just going to put this out as a video. I'm just going to maybe slightly edit the audio or whatever, but I don't know, I'm probably going to make a video soon, maybe, I don't really know. I have no ideas, and I don't play that many games, so yeah, sorry about that, guys. I'll try to do better in the future, again, at some time, you know, that would be good. But, till next time, see ya.